Gonna say this box is actually pretty small. It's not as small as the Xiaomi boxes, but it's also pretty minimalistic. Here we have the cell phone itself. Pretty excited. Let's put this aside for now. Very quickly go through these accessories and then we'll talk about the phone itself. Here we have a USB-C to headphone jack. We also have a European charger. And finally, a USB-C cable. We also have a curved screen protector, as you can see over here, which is very nice. It'll fit perfectly on the curved screen. And we also have a pretty crappy case as well. So let's put all this stuff aside and get to the phone itself. I am so excited. Wow, this phone is quite compact. So I'm gonna pick up my OnePlus 5T. As you can see, the Elephone U Pro is a little bit skinnier than the OnePlus 5T, but it is a little bit taller as well. And let's pick up my Mi Note 3. So this is my Mi Note 3 on the right side. The Mi Note 3 is actually wider than the Elephone U Pro, but it's also shorter as well. All right, so very first thing that I noticed, if you remember, this phone has wireless charging and you cannot wireless charge with a metal back. I can't tell if the back here is plastic or metal. Here, listen to me tap onto it. I think this is a plastic back. I don't think it's glass, but I will have to continue testing it to see. I mean, I just took this thing out of the box as well, so. Second thing, this Elephone U Pro is pretty tall, like other 18:9 phones. If you look at the Mi Note 3 on the right side, this is a regular 16:9 5.5-inch display, and as you can see, it is slightly shorter than the Elephone U Pro. But at least with the 18:9 phones, the Elephone U Pro here is a lot skinnier than the Xiaomi Note 3, which is going to be a lot easier to hold in your hand compared to a wider but shorter Mi Note 3. So we have the volume as well as the power buttons here. Nothing on this side, which is a little bit strange. Usually there is a SIM slot. And we have the SIM slot on the top of the phone here. And on the bottom, we have the USB-C as well as the speakers. Yeah, as you can see, the back of the phone picks up fingerprints pretty fast. You can see the fingerprints on the back of the phone already. Really doesn't look too good. It looks great when it's new, but when there's fingerprints on it, it looks kind of old and dirty. As you can see, there are dual cameras here and an LED flash, as well as a fingerprint sensor, which is indented a little bit, so I don't think it'll be too hard for me to reach it compared to the OnePlus 5T, which did have a barely indented fingerprint sensor on the back, so it was pretty hard to figure out where it was if you couldn't see. And of course, the crowning achievement of this phone would be the curved sides. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but the sides are curved, both the front and the back, which does feel and look very nice in person. And I'm actually very excited to see what this curved screen looks like in real life. So let's actually turn this phone on and see what we got. I'll just turn this phone on and set up my account, and I want you guys to appreciate just how good this phone looks. It looks like there are no side bezels, and there are side bezels. I will show you later. But it honestly looks just absolutely amazing. And I'm just so blown away. The first impressions of this phone have been absolutely great. But there are problems, and I will tell you about them. Almost completely white screen is probably the best way to see how big the bezels are. As you can see, the top and bottom bezels are pretty small, but they're not as small as the Galaxy S8. The side bezels though are almost non-existent, but there still are bezels that you can see on the sides. They're maybe like 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters thick, but nevertheless, because it curves, you can barely see that there are side bezels there, and they actually look absolutely amazing. Here you can see that there are real curves and they absolutely look amazing, but I do see one potential problem that I don't know if Elephone fixed, and that would be palm rejection. If my palm touched the side of the screen, I really don't know how Elephone's implementation of palm rejection is, so I really hope that they did a good job with palm rejection here. The last thing I want to talk about is the lack of navigation buttons. You can actually turn it off, and instead of using navigation buttons, you can actually do swipe up gestures. So for example, let's say you wanted to go home, you can swipe up from the middle, and it takes you home. So if I open up an app and I swipe up in the middle, it takes you home. And what you can also do is you can swipe up from the left side and it takes you back, which is very nice as well. Finally, you can swipe up from the right and that takes you to the app drawer where you can switch. I don't know how much I like it. It is pretty cool, but I don't know if it is more useful or less useful than just regular buttons, but I will use it and I'll give you my full report on that later. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.